Thank you again so much for everyone in joining us today. It's my pleasure to be presenting this webinar covering the next iteration of the ISS National Lab research announcement in the area of in-space production. As we get started with this presentation, I wanted to remind everyone that this webinar is being recorded and will be published on our website. If you have any questions, please enter them in the questions box. If we do not get to your question today, we'll be posting question and answers on the NLRA website. So with that, let's get into this year's NLRA in space production applications of advanced materials and manufacturing. First, I wanted to give you a little bit of a background into our organization cases. We're a nonprofit organization that manages the ISS National Lab. In 2005, Congress designated the U.S. portion of the International Space Station as a national laboratory to facilitate research in low Earth orbit and to open up access to U.S. researchers and companies. Our mission is to foster scientific discovery and technological innovation while expanding U.S. leadership in commercial space. This is especially true of this solicitation, where we are developing materials and processes that can only be done in space to benefit life here on Earth. At the National Lab, we have access to 50% of the resources available to the United States on the International Space Station. This includes astronaut time, facilities use, and space on launch vehicles going for up mass as well as down mass. We utilize this resource to drive scientific breakthroughs, advance commercial space opportunities, and inspire the next generation. We do that with the focus of driving the benefits for life here on Earth. So as you're developing your proposals, keep in mind that we will not be a user of the technology, but instead we are a user facility to test the development of new technologies. Furthermore, we are specifically interested in technologies that will benefit life here on Earth rather than to aid future space exploration. We categorize the advantages of space and for research and development into three key areas: the microgravity environment, the extreme conditions of space, and the unique vantage point. Particularly for this solicitation, extreme conditions of space may provide some benefit where unfiltered UV radiation, ultra-high vacuum, atomic oxygen, and or ionizing radiation may provide a unique environment that is beneficial for processing and manufacturing in some applications. However, we believe that the majority of the submissions will likely use the microgravity environment, which alters many observable phenomena within the physical and life sciences. Specifically, the removal of physical phenomena such as convection, sedimentation, buoyancy, and phase separation open the door to many new manufacturing processes and new materials. I'll discuss specific examples in the next couple slides as we discuss the topic areas. So let's now talk about this research announcement. For in-space production, we are seeking proposals that are looking to leverage the unique environment of the ISS to produce or manufacture new materials of superior quality or novel structure that can only be done in space. It is expected that the research enabled through this research announcement would lead directly to products, and as such, we are looking for flight opportunities that would raise the TRL to a technology readiness level of at least 6 or higher. Technologies proposed for testing should in general have advanced beyond the basic concept validation and instead be focused on seeking technology maturation through development and demonstration in the space environment. It is expected that this will enable new business growth and capital investment and would lead to new market opportunities and produce reoccurring value through these products. Specifically, we are looking for technology and materials that can be produced in space and brought back here for life on Earth. This research announcement invites proposals in the area of advanced and exotic material production and manufacturing. We have identified three key areas that we believe the space environment can have a real impact on material manufacturing. These are particular areas in which the basic concept validation has been demonstrated in microgravity, and microgravity has been shown to have an impact on the material performance. These areas also have potential markets where we believe that producing them in space of superior quality would lead to market penetration. For these areas, we're looking at organic crystallization, industrial crystal growth, and multi-phase material production. Submissions need not be specific to these key areas. However, we believe there is great promise in these areas. So going into those in more detail, first talking about organic crystallization. Microgravity has been shown to improve crystalline size and uniformity, even changing the crystal morphology. This can sometimes yield crystalline products with improved performance characteristics when compared with crystals grown here on Earth. An example of this is shown by the images on the right of a crystallization of Merck's Keytruda drug. You can see that the microgravity crystals, those on the image at the bottom, have a much higher uniformity than those grown on the ground, that image on the top. Potential proposals may include crystallization of small organic molecules, for example, to produce new polymorphs, or large organic molecules, for example, achieving uniform size distribution or morphology. It should be noted that studies designed to crystallize large molecules with the sole goal of characterizing molecular structure, for example, protein crystal growth, would not be responsive to this research announcement. We are specifically looking for processes to produce organic crystals in microgravity as a product itself with improved physical properties for a defined application. So the next topic area here is industrial crystal growth. So now we're talking about inorganic crystals. Here, the reduction in sedimentation and convective eddy currents in microgravity often leads to larger crystals with higher crystalline quality. So you can see here is an image of a mercuric iodide crystal grown by vapor growth in microgravity. Examples may include large single crystals, porous crystal structures such as zeolites or metal organic frameworks, polycrystalline materials, or thin films. We could envision potential applications including optics, lasers, detectors, semiconductors for electronics, as well as catalysts. And finally, the last area is in multi-phase material production. So systems of multi-phase materials often suffer from buoyancy-driven separation as well as stratification of the layers under the force of gravity. Microgravity can then improve this and potentially lead to improved uniformity of the mesoscale structures of these multi-phase materials. We envision that potential materials that could be improved by access to microgravity could be aerogels, hydrogels, bigels, liquid crystals, colloidal crystals, and block copolymer self-assembly structures. Please note that the materials would be expected to survive and be stable enough to survive under re-entry back for application here on Earth. Okay, so for this research announcement, some important dates. The NLRA opened on Valentine's Day, so February 14th. This will be a two-step proposal process. In the first step, you will submit a concept summary, a 2 to 3 page document that kind of covers, a brief abstract of your proposed technology. The submission date deadline for that is April 8th. Then we will review those and invite you to submit a full proposal for some of those as they go through that review process. The submission date for the full proposals will be June 15th. Going into a little bit of detail on the concept summary and that process. The concept will be a 2 to 3 page document. There is a template that is provided. Please use that template. It is on the NLRA website. You'll see that we are asking for some of the basics of what your hypothesis is, what metrics you will be using to determine and measure success, why the ISS is necessary, and how your experiment will work operationally. As noted previously, if you have any questions on these items, please reach out to us. I will serve as the lead contact on the technical side, and my information is available in the solicitation, as well as if you have any questions about the hardware, implementation partners, or operations on stations, you can see here you are very much encouraged to reach out to our operations team at ops@issnationallab.org. Please note that in addition, there is a requirement that all PIs and co-PIs need be U.S. persons, that is U.S. citizens or permanent residents of the United States. Okay, a couple more important information here. In the solicitation documents that you'll find on our website, there will be a rubric of how the proposals will be evaluated. In this rubric, we ask our external reviewers to utilize when they're reviewing and evaluating the proposals. At a high level, it will be evaluated on operational feasibility, scientific merit, and benefit to life on Earth, as well as in the economic promise of the technology and business case. Please reach out to our operations team if you have any questions about available hardware. You will need to identify an implementation partner, and they can help you with that process. Speaking of implementation partners, that might be a new term for you. When we speak of implementation partners, oftentimes these are commercial companies that own and operate hardware that is operated on station, but in all cases, they have experience in translating ground-based research into research that can be done on station. You will need an implementation partner, and so you will need to identify that as part of your proposal. The implementation partner will provide you with a statement of work and an estimated budget after you have worked with them for some time to define out what the experiment would be on station. To help identify an implementation partner, you can go to our website, as you can see here, as well as you can contact our operations team, and we have a process called the Implementation Partner Portal, which can help match you with an implementation partner that has expertise in your particular technology. Now for the funding, we are anticipating providing approximately $750,000 in funding for this solicitation, with an expectation of making up to 2 awards. We are allocating funding to support the project development costs. This could be the PI or principal investigator costs, as well as the mission integration and operations costs, the implementation partner costs. The PI can ask for funding for their work for project development. Funding is limited for this research announcement. As such, the level of funding requested will be a factor in the final selection. Leveraging of support, for example, showing that you're getting financial aid or in-kind support, is a part of that review process. From the contractual standpoint, it is anticipated that we will execute a subcontract directly to the implementation partner. So that is not something that would need to come from the PI's Institute and would not incur overhead as a result. Okay, so with that, we conclude with that the ultimate goal of the National Lab is to bring value and impact to the U.S. economy and taxpayers by benefiting life here on Earth. We really think that that is at the core of this particular research announcement, where we're trying to drive new products that will benefit the U.S. economy. The proposal submitted should demonstrate two key principles. The first is that pathway back to life on Earth. And the second is that the experiment needs to take advantage of the unique environment on the ISS, either the microgravity environment or, say, the extreme environment of space outside the ISS. If the research can be conducted terrestrially, it is usually more cost-effective and simpler to do so. However, there are key research phenomena that cannot be replicated here on Earth, and so the ISS serves as a great resource for that. So thank you very much for your time and interest in this research announcement. We believe that the ISS serves as a one-of-a-kind research facility and test bed for developing new manufacturing processes. Included are links where you can find more information or reach out with more questions. Please again post your questions now in the questions tab. We will be making those public after this webinar. This webinar will be posted, and if we do not get to them, we'll be posting the question and answer on our website. So thank you again for your interest, and we look forward to translating your research into research done on the ISS. Thank you.